Listen carefully. If you don't want to lose the love your partner has for you and destroy your relationship or marriage, then stay with me till the end, because there are 3 emotional circles that slowly tear apart the bond between 2 people. And the second one? It's the most dangerous of all. 1. The circle of avoidance, the silent destroyer. Avoidance begins quietly. It starts when you or your partner stop confronting what matters most. You dodge serious talks, ignore emotional needs, and pretend everything is fine, just to keep the peace. Instead of saying, "This is bothering me," you start using phrases like, "It's okay," or "I'm fine." But inside, you're not fine. You're collecting small resentments like pebbles in your heart. Each unspoken word adds another layer of distance between you and your partner. Over time, what you avoid today becomes the storm you'll face tomorrow. Because silence doesn't heal, it hides wounds that still bleed. That's why open communication is oxygen for a relationship. You can't grow with someone if you're afraid to tell them what hurts you. When you keep swallowing your feelings, you train your partner not to notice your pain. They repeat the same behavior again and again because they don't even know what's breaking you inside. And soon, you start losing attraction. Not because love is gone, but because your emotional connection has faded under silence. Why do people avoid? Most of the time, fear. Fear of conflict. You don't want to argue. You don't want tension. You just want peace. But peace built on silence is fake. It's like smiling while your heart is quietly screaming. Others avoid because they fear rejection, the no that makes them feel unwanted. They think it's easier to agree, easier to stay quiet. But all that does is turn love into bitterness. And some people avoid because of their past. They grew up in homes where speaking up meant punishment. So now, as adults, they stay quiet to feel safe. But that silence becomes the wall that keeps love out. And there's another reason: low self-worth. You're scared that if you speak up, your partner might walk away. But the truth is, real love doesn't leave when corrected. Real love listens, learns, and grows. So, how do you break out of the avoidance circle? Start using the phrase "I feel" more often. Say things like, "I feel unheard when you don't talk to me," or "I feel distant when we don't share things anymore." That's how understanding begins. You're not blaming, you're expressing. And that's what builds trust. Don't wait for things to explode before you talk. Have the small talks before they become big wars. Learn to sit in uncomfortable conversations, because that's where love matures. Learn to argue constructively. Arguments aren't a sign of a weak relationship. They're a sign that you care enough to fix things. When 2 people stop disagreeing, they've stopped trying. Avoiding hard conversations now only builds harder walls later. 2. The circle of blame, the defensive loop. Blame is the fast track to emotional disconnection. It turns every misunderstanding into a war about who's right instead of what's true. When you blame your partner for every wrong, you force them into defense mode. They stop listening and start protecting themselves. Blame doesn't inspire change. It breeds resentment. You can't heal what you keep attacking. Saying, "You always do this," or "It's your fault," doesn't make your partner change. It just makes them shut down. Soon your home becomes a battlefield. 2 people fighting for power instead of fighting for peace. Blame kills emotional safety. And without emotional safety, no one can open up. That's why your partner stopped sharing their feelings, because every time they tried, they were met with criticism, not comfort. Imagine your partner made a bad decision. They invested money where they shouldn't have and lost everything. They're already broken. That moment isn't for "I told you so." It's for "I'm here." We'll figure this out. When your partner fails, don't turn into their judge. Be their shelter. Love means being a safe place, not a courtroom. And it works both ways. When your woman makes mistakes, she doesn't always need a lecture. She needs listening. Sometimes she just wants to talk through her pain, not be told how to fix it. When you keep blaming her, she'll stop bringing her heart to you. Blame slowly turns lovers into strangers, and strangers into enemies. Because when criticism becomes constant, your partner stops feeling loved and starts feeling small. You're not opponents. You're on the same team. If the world criticizes your partner, you should be the one to defend them and then correct them in love later. So how do you break free from the blame loop? Change your language. Instead of saying, "You hurt me," say, "I feel hurt when this happens." Instead of saying, "You are the problem," say, "This situation made me feel bad." See the difference? You're moving from accusation to connection. When you drop blame, you make space for understanding. Because the moment you say you, your partner stops hearing the message, they only hear the attack. Remember this, it's never you versus your partner. It's both of you versus the problem. That's the mindset that turns arguments into healing conversations. Because vulnerability builds bridges and blame builds walls. 3. The circle of withdrawal. The emotional divorce. Withdrawal doesn't start with silence. It starts with exhaustion. It's that point where one partner gives up emotionally, stops texting, stops asking, stops trying, because they've convinced themselves that nothing will ever change. You see it when your partner stops reacting, when they no longer argue, when every "it's okay" actually means "I don't have the energy to care anymore." That's emotional withdrawal, the slow fading of connection. It's not peace, it's quiet distance. When your partner stops correcting you, when they stop showing concern, when they stop expecting more. It's not maturity, it's resignation. And that's when you start feeling like roommates, not lovers. You coexist, but you don't connect. You share space, but not emotions. How do you know your partner is withdrawing? They no longer text you first. They stop checking in. They stop asking what's wrong. They stop initiating affection. And you think it's peace, but it's the calm before emotional disconnection. So what can you do to reverse it? Start with emotional check-ins. Ask, "How have I been making you feel lately? What do you wish I did differently?" And listen, really listen, without defending yourself. Because defensiveness kills vulnerability. Be curious again. When you stop being curious about your partner, you stop growing together. Some people think marriage or commitment is a finish line. It's not. It's the beginning of a lifelong effort. You have to keep dating your partner, even after years together. Learn what makes them happy now, because people evolve. Build curiosity around their current needs. Ask what makes them feel loved today, not what used to. Because love isn't static. It's a daily decision. And if you realize you're both stuck in a negative cycle, don't wait until the connection is gone. Start doing the work now. Sometimes the relationship isn't broken. It's just neglected. Seek wisdom. Seek understanding. Not validation from outsiders. Because friends and family might mean well, but they often make things worse by taking sides instead of bringing solutions. The truth is, every couple drifts into one of these 3 circles sometimes: avoidance, blame, or withdrawal. What matters is how fast you recognize it and how willing you are to break the pattern. Don't wait until love turns cold. Don't wait until silence feels normal. If you still care, then speak up. Apologize, listen, ask questions, rebuild curiosity, and most importantly, choose your partner again, every single day. Because love doesn't die overnight. It fades, one avoided talk at a time, one blame at a time, one withdrawal at a time. But the same way it fades, it can also return. One honest talk at a time, one act of grace at a time, one effort to understand at a time. So which circle are you in right now? Avoidance, blame, or withdrawal? Because the moment you identify it, you can start healing it. That's how you protect love. That's how you rebuild trust. And that's how you turn silence, pain, and distance into growth, connection, and peace again.